Welcome to solverfy.
All right, so for this problem, what we are doing is we are asked to make a formula for the function for the given situation and also the domain for the function. Okay, so that's the first thing. That's our to-do. Here, I'll underline it here. So those two things are what we're asked to do. Now, the first thing I like to do when I'm giving a situation is I like to pick out the most important information. So you can underline this or just write it off to the side, whichever is easiest for you. So the first thing that I found was that US homes with internet access in 2006 was 68%. And the second important thing was that the percent increases by, on average, 1.5% per year for the next 4 years. So that is the second information that I found to be really important. So for the first thing for to do, so right here, the formula. So for the formula of the function, remember earlier in the chapter, they gave f of x equals the constant rate of change times x plus the initial amount. So this is just a general way to think of the formula that we're going to make for the function. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say that my function is going to be p of t. So p of t, that stands for the percent of US homes with internet access. Internet access. So that's my first, that's what my function is going to be. Now the reason that I use t is for time, right? Because this function is dependent on the number of years, right? So I'm going to put number of years here or time, which is why I'm using the t. All right, so I can go ahead and start out by putting p of t equals. Now here we have our constant rate of change, right? So that means each year something's being added. Now, if I go back to my important information right here, it tells us that each year we are increasing by 1.5%. So that's that constant rate of change. So I'm going to put here 1.5. Oops, I put x, that's wrong. Our variable is t, so 1.5 times t, so that's our number of years, plus the initial amount. Now we are starting in 2006, and in 2006, we have 68%. So 1.5t plus 68%. So that here is our function that we can write for this situation. So the final thing we need to do, number 2, I'm going to go ahead and get a different color for that as well. Number 2 is we need to look at the domain of the function. Okay, so I'm going to put D, that stands for our domain. Now, where we start, if we look here, that's going to be 2006 when it's 68%. So at P of 0, that's when we have 68 because that is when we are starting. So our lower bound is going to be that 0. And our maximum, they actually gave us here. Now they only averaged this for the next 4 years. At 5 years, we're not sure what it's going to increase by. but for now, they know it's going to be that 4. So our domain for t for our years is between 0 and 4 years.